This section is about the menorah on Hanukkah, but it's coming into the Gemara Shabbos because the Gemara Shabbos discusses what type of wicks and oil you're allowed to use in your Shabbos candles. Here you see your Shabbos candles. And it says that oil or wicks that will flicker or that will not stay lit, there's a concern that you may come to adjust it on Shabbos. It's called Shema Yate. It's a concern. I'll write that over there. Shema Yate, which means you may come to adjust it, and you'll violate the malacha of mavir, of causing it to burn, which that's one of the malachas on Shabbos. It's a Isser D'Oraisa. You're not allowed to cause something to burn. So now the question is, what about on Hanukkah? Here we have a Chanuka menorah. Are you allowed to use all those wicks that you're not allowed to use on Shabbos? Someone has some bad oil and bad wicks. So you know what? I'll save it for Hanukkah. So the Gemara is going to discuss this, and you have to recognize that on Hanukkah, we're lighting the Chanuka menorah, but we may be lighting the Chanuka menorah during the week, and we may be lighting it on Shabbos. So let's not get confused when we say Hanukkah Shabbos that we're not discussing the Shabbos candles. We're discussing the Hanukkah candles, but the Hanukkah candles we also light on Shabbos. Okay, now there's 2 points here, 2 possibilities that have to be understood before we can learn the Gemara. One is there a responsibility to relight your Hanukkah menorah if it goes out? The Hebrew words for that is kavsa, which means if it's extinguished. Zakakla means you're bound to it, which means you're responsible to relight it. Kavsa ein zakakla means that you don't have to relight it. The second point that we have to discuss is, are you allowed to use your Hanukkah menorah, the lights of the menorah, the fire, the light that's coming out, for personal use? Or is it like sanctified light, and you're not allowed to read by it or to count coins by it, play dreidel, etc.? So, based on those 2 points, we'll be able to understand this Gemara, and there are 3 opinions in this Gemara. The first opinion is Amar Rav Huna. Let's start from right over here. Let's make that clear. Amar Rav Huna. Rav Huna says, Psiles v'shamanim. Psiles means, you know what? I'm going to zoom out so we can see this better. Let's see if this works. Psiles v'shamanim. Psiles are wicks, and shamanim are oils. She'amru chachamim, that our sages have said. What did our sages say? Ein madlikin, that you're not allowed to light bahen with them b'Shabbos, on Shabbos. So all of those oils, which we're not discussing now, but there's a whole list of oils that don't burn well, and there's a whole list of wicks that don't burn well. So Rav Huna says, Ein madlikin ben b'Chanukah, bein b'Shabbos, bein b'chol. That's his rule. We'll try to underline this. You're not allowed to light with them. Madlikin means light, and obviously ein means not, or may not. You may not light with them on Hanukkah, whether it's Shabbos or whether it's the weekday. Let's take a look over here at what Rav Huna holds. So if I made diagonal lines, that means that it's forbidden to use those oils. This is the Hanukkah, whether it's the weekday. Chol means weekday, and Shabbos. Now, we have to explain why. So basically, Rav Huna says that you cannot save those bad oils for Shabbos or for Hanukkah. You can't use it on Shabbos. Don't think you're going to save it for Hanukkah. Amar Rava. Rava comes along and explains the reason for Rav Huna. Why can you not use those oils on Hanukkah during the weekday? So, my time with Rav Huna, what's the reason? Let's put in a question mark rather than a comma. Kasavar, he holds that both things here, kavsa zakakla, that's number 1, and mutalish damish la'ira. Okay, this we're going to explain as follows. Take it back over here. During the weekday, he holds kavsa zakukla. That means you're responsible to relight it. Therefore, we're afraid that you may not actually relight it. So we tell you, don't use oil or wicks that may go out. You may be negligent and you won't relight it. On Shabbos, he holds mutter lishtamish la'ira, that you are allowed to have benefit from the light of the menorah, and therefore he's afraid that you may come to adjust it. Now, we're not talking about the Shabbos candles here, we're talking about the menorah, and since you may adjust it, so we say don't use oil or wicks that you may come to adjust. So for both cases, you're not allowed to use